Surprise live. Random live. So people can see what I'm doing. There's my shirt. We're going to hear myself think in a second when it starts raining. Look at my hair, it looks stupid. Right, yeah, so I may as well say whilst I'm on, people do mention why do I tape my fingers. This is the reason. Because I catch them whilst I'm doing my work, and then I want to bite the skin all day, and if I just put this tape on, which it's not sticky, it sort of sticks back on itself, or like Velcro type thing, it sort of crimps to itself. It just saves me from getting sore fingers, and I only put it on the sorest ones, like. And that's the reason why I put tape on my fingers. It's not because I continuously cut myself, or I think I'm Michael Jackson. That's weird, but. Oh, Jim! Hey, how are you, mate? What have you been up to? Oh, it's just stopped raining, actually. Oh, what have you been up to, Jim? Talk to me. I wasn't going to go live today, but I've just been out here and I thought, you know what? I ain't spoke to any of you lot in ages, or it feels like ages. I don't know if my, for whatever reason, my Wi-Fi is still playing up. It ain't still not right. Yeah, I carry around a fucking Wi-Fi box. You're on holiday? Oh, bless you. How is Mum, alright? Blackpool, oh God. You know what? I like the idea of Blackpool, but when I'm there, I don't. It's busy for me. I'm not a particularly busy person. I don't particularly like busy, if I'm honest with you. But no, good for you, man. It's nice to take Mum away. Funny enough, my mother-in-law's here, and we've been on about going together and taking the little ones away as well. I don't know if my mother-in-law. We went to Blackpool a couple of years back on a campsite. I'd just done a camper van, which we called Boris. Did we go in that? Yeah, and we went to Blackpool. Anthony, there is projects, mate. Yeah, well, this is one of the reasons why I thought, you know what, I'll do a little bit of a live today, for the simple reason is I've got quite a lot of projects on the go. Probably too many, really. I do like a variation, because I change my mind from day to day. I don't know if you guys are the same, but I don't know whereabouts in my videos we are, but I've been making these hammers. Yeah, she's not too bad. It's not too bad here, but the weather isn't good. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Paul. You're all right, mate. Yes, so I've been making these hammers. What this all spurred from, you guys should know this. I got, oh shit. I got Assel for my toffee hammer, which I use all the time. So I don't even know where I got it from. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah. Find me some pictures over, mate. You right, Dean? So I used to get a bit of shit for my little hammer that I had on the side, and it's just a little craft hammer, but you know what? It's constantly in use, and it gave me the idea of, because you guys are awesome, I bought I think it came in 6 hammers. So I've been making these things with bone handles or antlers. So I bought some antlers as well. Fucking hell, yeah, there's loads been going. I haven't done it live for a while, I mustn't have. So I made that as well. It's just a phone stand. This antler was broken, so I wanted to have a bit of a practice to see if I could sort of sharpen it up, and it snapped off. You can see it a little bit there. I probably need to sand that down a little bit more. But it doesn't look amiss, I don't think. And all that was a bit of old fencing. But yeah, I mean, these sorts of things would sell great at craft fairs and stuff, and maybe small shows. But they're dead easy to do. And if you're I mean, we've got a great community. Honestly, we have. I know I keep saying it, but I absolutely 100% mean it. When I thought I'd go, well, I didn't. My wife actually said you ought to go live on YouTube. You've not spoke to the lads in a while. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. I should. I absolutely should. And that's what. Have I got some on my glasses or is some on the phone? Just do my pits in. You all right, Ian? How are you? Oh, yeah, so where was that? Yeah, just keep firing questions. I'll do my best to answer. Hopefully my wife will be on at some point soon. She's having a cup of tea. So, yes, I made this, sharpened this up. I think I did do a couple of shorts on it. And all I did, it was just a lump of, what was it, 3x2? Some rubber feet off Amazon. Hey, how are you, John? You, John. How are you? So... yeah, and all I did with that is literally made a pilot hole in the antler, drilled through, and I tell you what, I don't know if any of you lot have worked with antlers, bones. This is the first time I've ever worked with them. I fucking love it. It's a bit like working with resin. You know, like a really strong, tough plastic that doesn't split. I'm yet to have split an antler. Because it's slightly softer in the middle. But, I mean, the stuff that you can do, like I'm sharpening them up. This one was, we got told this as well. This is a bit different. The whiter antlers that you get are more captivity bred deer. And the dark antlers are more wild. Now, I think that's the right way around. My wife will know better. And all I did with that one was I just tack welded the nail on, bent it on purpose, and put it in a bit of log. So what I'm actually going to do, and what I said, I'm going to give 5 of these away. Just let me know if you want one and why you want one. Not that you need to be worthy, but if you do want one, I'm going to give 5 of these away. The Negan bat. Do you like it? Honestly, Anthony, it was so easy to make. Get yourself to the car boot. Look out for any wooden baseball bats, or there's an idea. If you know anyone that does any lathe turning, make you a baseball bat. It doesn't have to be particularly hard or out of a decent sort of wood. You know what I mean? Because you're only going to mess it up anyway by wrapping barbed wire around it. And you know what I did? Go back to the short on it, Anthony, the Negan bat. It's actually, if you look at my floor in the living room, the laminate floor. In fact, I've got some laminate floor here. Here, I'll take you with me. So on the Negan bat, I know I get off topic. I always do this, don't I? Where is it? I'm looking through, there it is. I'm looking through my timber now. So all I did, well, that's me doing a bit of a Ouija board. See, again, I use everything. This is just laminate flooring. And I was practicing my Ouija board numbers, which is there, look. Can you see my Ouija board? There. All on laminate. Laminate's great to use, because everyone's saying, well, what can you use laminate for? And I was like, I don't really know, because it's not real wood, is it? It's sort of compressed dust, which makes it unbelievably hard. But I found for backing stuff that likes the Negan bat, all I did with that was screw from the back, screw a piece of old decking on the back so it sort of stuck out from the wall a little bit, put the laminate on the front, screwed it in, screwed all the way through, and put the Negan bat on the front, and then I just put some LEDs round. I'll tell you what, it looks good. It does look good. And well, it must look okay because my wife let me put it in the living room, so it must be all right. So these antlers, yeah. I was on the hammers. I've done one other hammer as well somewhere. I don't know where it is. Let me look. Ah, yeah. So I'm going to do 5 variations of this hammer, like this, like I said. There's number 1. This one's number 2. But what I'm going to do with this one, I think I'm actually going to put it on like a plaque. So I'm going to put like maybe an oak plaque behind it, and then maybe a light over it. I'm not sure yet. And I've just fucking losing everything. Oh, yeah. You right, Greg? Yeah, you know what? They're interesting, Jim, aren't they? And do you know what? It just sprung to me. I was in bed, I think, and I thought, you know what? I'd look good for us sort of boys to commemorate what we do, using these tiny hammers. Plus, I got the piss taken out of me because of my little toffee hammer. I thought it'd be quite amusing. I think these are actually a little bit smaller. Yeah, they are. So I've just cut the head off another one. Yeah, do you know what, Greg? I'm glad you said that. This, for me, exactly right, is my workspace. It's not really a workshop. I mean, look, let's face facts. I've got tons of lights up. This is my man cave. I've got a projector over here. I've got I love my lights and my LEDs, and this is the back of my desk. It's still got, I've got my Christmas trees. This is like my brain has just been sick on my outside. This is me. This is my brain. If you went and climbed inside my brain, this is what my brain would look like. I've got bird boxes up here, and yeah, you know what it did, Jim? It does that. Why do you always go to it? Because I do. My hammer's there. Amount of times I've thrashed shit with this and thought, why don't I just go and get my normal hammer? But it stays with me, and now it's a part of me, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'm going to do some more of these. Let me know if you want a hammer. Like I said, I've done that one. I'll do a bit more to them yet. I'm going to do something a bit more to this one. And what I actually did with this phone stand, I did give it a quick wash with bleach. Now, personally, I like the antlers more white and smoother. It's just a personal preference. I don't really know why. I don't know. I did buy myself I did do a thing on this as well, like a cheap Dremel. I don't know if any of you guys have got one of these. I did speak to somebody that had exactly the same one. It came with, it says it on it actually, 230 pieces. So, you know, if you, it's not plugged in, but I bought this pure and simply so I could manipulate my antlers. What I mean by manipulate is that had snapped there, but I used my Dremel to continue the rivets in the antler, because I don't like it where it looks like it's been sharpened. I don't like that. I wanted it to look like it's sort of grown that way. And that's why I bought that. And I think it was, oh God, what have I got on the mind here? 35 quid for that, I think. So yeah, I've done that. What else? I bought, because I know people said about bottle openers. I mean, my dad's passed away now, but antler bottle openers are good. So I bought a couple of bottle openers. I've got some stickers made up, look. Yeah. Good, isn't it? Jim, I wouldn't mind having one of those antlers. They're brilliant, mate, honestly. I think they are a wicked idea and would look cool in the kitchen. Yeah, okay. Well, let me know your style, your idea, Jim, because you've been good to me, man, like with hoodies and stuff. And I'll happily do you one, mate. If you give me if you want it to fit somewhere, if you want to put it somewhere, give me some dimensions, well, I'll tell you what I can do. Here's some of the antlers that I'm working with. So we bought a bit of a job lot off a lovely couple, and they even threw in some of their older stock, and they says, oh, you know, you can have these, we'll chuck these in with the price. And I think it was just over 200 quid, but we got fucking tons of stuff, and we are made up. I mean, the best one is still got its skull on inside the house. But now you can see what I'm saying about the more wild deers are more brown, and the more tame deers are more white. So yeah, that's that. Oh, there you go. There's one that I made. One that I made earlier. Remember Blue Peter? So I made that. My wife liked this, to be fair. Can you see that? Yeah. Paul, I've got the little version of the Dremel. Does the job. Exactly, mate. And you know what? I've spoke to Rob from Weekend Shedhead, I don't know if you guys have follow him or watch him. He does a lot of Lidl and Aldi purchases. Anthony, like the phone stand, that'd be good when go on a show on YouTube channel. Gets fed up, keep holding your phone for that's, do you know what, it's an addition. It started, how my channel started years ago. Yeah, have a look for sizes. Yeah, message me, man. You've got me, you know to message me. So yes, the phone stand idea, Anthony, was all spurred from, if you go right back in my videos, all the way back to, I don't know, probably end of last year, I done a couple of videos on the fastest possible phone stands you could make on YouTube. And I think I did it in about 12 seconds, which is that. Basically it works. It's out of old decking, a groove cut out, which is straight on that one, and all it does is what it says on the tin. And they're good for little giveaways and things, you know, if your family, but they're handy. Our house is absolutely full of them. They're in the bathroom, they're in the toilets, they're everywhere. I even did a toilet roll holder phone stand, so you can put a toilet roll so you can put your phone whilst you're on the toilet. Someone actually asked for that. And just different variations of the same thing. These are the easiest. I think it's a 15-degree cut, 15 degree on the front, 15 in the middle, 15 on the back, just so you don't have to change the angle of your blade on your chop saw. And it's just old decking. And I stuck a piece of leather that says handmade on it. I mean, it is handmade. Still a piece of decking. Same thing. And you know, you can even do them down to, depending on the size of your phone or the size of your case, you can actually get it so it's bang on for your phone. I even did the little key rings. Look, I give these away quite a lot. Same thing, they do work. There you go. So yeah, they're just a variation. The antlers is just a variation of the phone stand or key ring. These are brilliant. You know what, if you just wanted to do either a car boot, or I'll be doing these. I mean, we are looking at doing a show next year. The one at the NEC, I can't remember what it's called now. Makers show, I think. There's a few creators that I'd like to meet that are going. So I'm trying to jump on the bandwagon and go. I'll do a little workshop, probably either on antlers or something very, very basic. I like the basic because you can whip 100 of these up in a day and write your name on them, or put my little hashtag on them like I have on that one, and give them away. And for me, this is the fun of doing this. There is absolutely no money reward. Well, there is. I tell a lie. I have started to get paid off TikTok, but the total honesty, the total truth, the biggest video I had was 135,000 views, and it made £39, I think, which, you know what, I was ecstatic with. I was ecstatic with 135,000 views for a start, and then I was ecstatic getting paid 39 quid for doing something that I love. So, you know, it's given me the bug a little bit again to think, you know what, I'm lucky to have what I have. You know, think of what you've got and not what you haven't got, eh? And I try and live by them words. I have a lot, and I appreciate what I've got, and I appreciate all you guys. I do, genuinely, I do. And I appreciate, you know, we talk all the time, and we do. This isn't made up. You know, anyone that emails me, I know Jim. I've known Jim for a while, and we've even been through some stuff, me and Jim. You know, and I class him as a mate. And you know, life's fucking hard, guys. And coming out here in my little space, working with my antlers, my wife puts up with a lot from me. And she lets me get away with this because, you know me, I struggle with my mental health, and I've got epilepsy. In fact, I've got an epilepsy. I've got to see my specialist tomorrow. I hope he ain't going to change my medication again. But anyway, yeah, she puts up with a lot of me. Plus, obviously, going through this bloody bipolar diagnosis as well. So hopefully that can level me out at some point in the future as well. But yeah, I'm lucky to have what I've got and be able to do what I'm doing. Just subscribe. Thanks, Greg. What do you do, mate? Where are you in the world? And honestly, depending on, well, it doesn't depend on what you do. Anybody can make these sorts of things really, really cheap. I've still got the a tool drive that I'm doing. I've still got all the tools that I bought from the car boot that I will be giving away at some point when I've got enough of them, enough of a haul. A few people have emailed asking if they can have them, which they obviously their name is in the hat. Yeah. Oh, what else we got? What else have I been doing? Oh, there's the box, the Dremel thing. I think Kim's put a link in. It actually came. The case was actually broke, but that's the bits that it comes with. You can't grumble at that for about I think it was about 35 quid. Oh, hey Jack, my mate Jack. Jack's been through some shit as well, but you know what? Doing well. Jack's doing well. Got a big project on at the minute, haven't you, Jack? How's it going? You started using your scaffold boards yet? Be a lovely project, that will. Look great, that will. Yeovil, Somerset. What'd you do, Greg? Woodwork, metalwork, bit of everything? Nah, not yet. That's next week. Next weekend. You've got a lot of work to do next weekend, mate, haven't you? Yeah, I need some photos of that. I have inquired in the past about some scaffold boards because you can make some fantastic things. And I am looking at doing a fire pit table, as you know, Jack. Been cutting back bushes, painting the fence. Oh, yeah, getting it ready. The shit stuff, yeah. The shit that no one sees before the pretty bit. More of a handyman, painter, decorator. Greg, I'm with you, man. I'm absolutely with you. You like me then? I'm no more than a handyman, or I'm certainly not a master craftsman or anything like that. I've learned a lot along the way, but I'm self-taught on most things. I do. In fact, yeah, there's my... I can put a link in the description below with this. This was meant to be 40 quid, but I think it was about 15 quid off Amazon. And I bought this the other day because it's waterproof. I do listen to music, yeah. If I'm outside more, if I'm in and out more, I'll listen to music. But if I'm just inside doing more intricate things, I'll be watching... I'll show you. So there's my iPad, there's me and my beautiful wife. So yeah, I'll be watching my iPad, either YouTube or... I'm constantly looking up stuff. Oh yeah, Paul, you'll love what Jack's doing. It looks amazing. It's a real upscale on my, well, not my idea, Jack's idea of a fire pit table. He wanted the flames coming out the table, so we've been doing a bit of collaborating. I have actually bought a gas ring, but I think it's too big. I think it'd be okay on Jack's table because Jack's table is going to be fucking massive, and it looks awesome. So I think you'd be all right with that. I will speak to Jack on what he's thinking of putting over the flames, because I know lots of people either put pebbles or fireglass, or I've actually got some marble, and I wondered if that would discolour. And there was something else. You guys might know actually. Whilst you're on, same as you, Paul. I wanted to do the fire pit table, but I've still got a full butane. What's the difference between butane and propane? Because the butane, for me, I think it's either under pressure, faulty. I'm not sure. I managed to find the regulator that actually fit the butane, but it does not want to come through and go through my fire pit ring. So I don't know if I need propane, and why I would need propane and not butane. I have no idea. Excuse me, I have no idea. Pig. So yeah, I made that one. I don't know if anyone likes the candlestick holders. Absolutely piece of piss again. These antlers were horrible. They weren't very nice. I'll show you the ends that I cut off and you'll realise what I mean. So there's the ends that I cut off. Oh, they were on sort of, can you see? Oh, I can't really see. There, yes you can. So they were sort of on there, look. So they were just the horrible bits. I'm still keeping them because I don't know. You never know. I might be able to use that as a handle for a knife. You know, there's so many uses for this material. So if you get the opportunity, or you find somebody somewhere that's doing antlers, I mean, you can buy them. I was told, that's how I started looking into the antlers, for dog chews. I mean, what fucking dog chews an antler? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, you buy them in the per kilogram as dog chews, but they're still relatively costly. Like I said, I've got some. I'll show you some that I was given from my daughter's dad. We're good friends, and he gave me two big antlers. So big up to you, Nath, if you're watching. Yeah, he gave me two big antlers. So I owe him a bit of a project. Oh, there was something else that I was doing as well. God, yeah, I've got so many things on the go I need to finish. We went golfing for my son's birthday, and I bought a commemorative golf ball. So I want to put that on a bit of a backing, and I've got so much to do. I need to finish it before I restart it. Now, should I show you this first? If anyone's interested. Anyone interested? Oh, you would say that, Anthony, wouldn't you? I was making a Freddy glove, and I am making a Freddy glove. That's another one of my projects that I'm yet to finish. Do you know why? Because I can't fucking solder. Can't solder. I've been watching. I've bought myself a new soldering iron. Look, my new soldering iron's here. My new soldering flux and everything is here, and I'm practicing and practicing. Anthony, thanks for bringing it up. And there's my one and only Freddy claw knife. So it works okay. I bought the actual gloves as well. It's out of 22mm copper rivet gun. I bought a new rivet gun as well, and I made the claw, the knife, out of a handsaw blade, and cut it out and ground it. It needs cleaning up again now, but I've convinced myself I'm going to save this project for winter. I can see me in here a bit like Freddy Krueger did, lights low, late at night, grinding and cutting, and I don't know why, like a horror film type thing. But yes, the Freddy glove, and I want it as realistic as possible. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love Robert Englund to sign it. Possible, maybe, hopefully. And he's knocking on a bit now, bless him. So yes, that. Oh, there's another bit of antler that's snapped off. Hang on, let me undo that. I made a key ring out of it. So yeah, so what have you guys been doing? And if you were interested in hang on a second, Paul. Oh, Paul, honestly, I get all the visions and ideas from you guys. But here we go, John. Propane is used mostly indoors. Okay. With boiling point of 42 degrees C, and butane has a boiling point of -2. Propane is better for patio heaters. Butane is more suits to little gas stoves. That might be the reason, eh? That makes sense. Maybe that fire pit ring that I bought, it is a big one, is too much for butane to cope with. You saying that makes sense completely, yeah. Jason hockey mask, yeah, cool. That gets my creative juices going. Yeah, I like that idea. -42 degrees. Oh, okay. Yeah, I love the horror film. I love horror films, and I think this is probably why me and my wife are absolute horror fanatics. And my wife likes this. All I did with this candlestick holder is, as you can see, I cut the horrible bit at the bottom of the antler off. I mean, that looks a bit pissed to me, but ultimately all I did was I glued in a pin from my pin gun, dripped some wax on it, and then just stuck the candle in the top like that. I'm trying to find A rectangle fibre. Yeah, see, that's difficult, Jack. I'm struggling with the rectangle thing. You can either get the really small circular ones, about 1 foot wide, yeah, and 3 foot long. Mate, I'm absolutely with you, because I know exactly what you're thinking. You can cut a square or an oblong out of your middle of your table, or leave a plank out of it, or 2 planks out. Sit a tray or a metal whatever, or a slab, or even you could probably tile it. Put your gas through, and then you put your long oblong gas fire pit thing in, and then you put your stones over the top, and all the flames come out. I'm absolutely with you. Yes, Jack, I'm absolutely 100% with you. Why does no fucker, no matter where you look, do a square or oblong? Is it because the gas? I don't know. Oh, no, even that wouldn't work. I was just thinking if you had a long rail, would the gas come out? Or does it have to go back on itself? Does that make sense? No, it can't do. See, I bought this, Jack. This might pique your interest, mate. So, I bought this. Let's fuck that off. Over here. So I bought that because I just wanted to see. You can buy a table done for £3,000 exactly. So I bought this in preparation for doing my fire pit table. I have done a fire pit table once before, years and years ago. And someone give me a ring about this big, and I just cut a hole out of my wooden table, and I dropped. Do you know the sunken manhole covers that you put block paving in? I dropped one of them in it, drilled a hole through, put my gas through. So this kit I think was about 20 quid. But even the butane would hardly like this gun. And I thought, my idea was, when I cut a fire extinguisher in half, I was going to put a flame coming up out my fire extinguisher. In fact, my fire extinguisher idea is still here, look. So that's a fire extinguisher that I cut the top off. I could fabricate one by the time I've paid someone to do it. Exactly, I get it. Why can't we just find the... Jax, message me, and I'll do a bit more digging, mate, because I think we want exactly the same thing. And you know what? I think if you do a few shorts and a few videos, we can help each other out a bit here, mate. Ian, hi mate, get yourself a bit of kitchen equipment, strip it. Yes, see, again, I looked at, that's a good idea, a burner underneath the grill goes. That's not a bad shout. Exactly. So you surely you can get it in a rail. What about barbecue? An old gas barbecue? I don't know if the yeah. Ah, fucking hell, Jack. Great minds think alike, mate. Great minds think alike. An old gas barbecue, yeah. So I cut the fire extinguisher top off. My idea was I was going to put this gas in the bottom, like that, and make a funky patio heater, so the flame come out the top. But I couldn't get this to work on butane. It just did not want to work. So I give it up because it pissed me off, if I'm perfectly honest. And I'm going to get myself some propane. And I think that is the reason. I just don't think butane... I think it's faulty. I think it might be old. I'm not sure. Jack, me and you both. I don't want to spend money. Why? Yes, exactly. And it's all very well going online saying, ooh, I made this. It's only cost me $3,000. Well, yeah, fuck can do that, can't I? If you get yourself an old barbecue. But I like the... who came up with the kitchen equipment? Was that Ian? That's a great shout. I never thought of the grill. You automatically, when you think of kitchen, you think of a cooker. And you think of the rings. But yeah, what about the grill underneath? Got to be worth a think. So yeah, an old cooker. Yeah. I think you might be right. And I am a bit scared. As long as you've got your regulator on your gas or on your propane, that stops I believe this is right. Don't take me at my word on this. I'll do a bit more research on this as well, because I'm not. I am health and safety minded, but I'm not. If that makes sense. I know I'm probably lax to some people, but I've done it for so long. You do it your way, don't you? So gas, I'm a little bit more sensitive with because of the dangers behind it, I suppose, and your family. But I believe the regulator stops the flame and everything going back in the bottle, and so as long as you've got your regulator on, you're pretty safe. I mean, I know it's fire, I know it's gas, but look, these gas bottles get dragged around fucking power stations and shit. I know because I've been there, and they get abused and battered and dropped, and you know, once you've got your regulator on, I think you're pretty safe. So, yeah. Yeah, Paul's the same as us, Jack. He is bang on, absolutely, 100%. I do like that though, what Ian said about the cooker. In fact, I'm gonna look, excuse me, to see if I can have a look for a cooker. But this is still another project that is still been shelved because of this. And I think of things, and I think, oh, I'll do that, and I start it and don't know enough, and then it goes on a shelf. So sometimes it takes a little bit of getting. You same as the antlers. I've been toying with the ideas of getting antlers and doing things like the. I can see. Do you know what it sort of reminds me of these sorts of things? Like Interview with a Vampire. You'd imagine this sort of stuff in a scary hotel. You know, but you know, people love this sort of stuff, and it piques my interest. You know, just little things like. Yeah, it grows. I'm talking to you guys, and Jack, like I say, we kick over some ideas, and it gets you to thinking. You think, oh, fucking hell, I'll do that, and Timo, yeah. In fact, again, Ian, you're right. Yeah, if you put in gas, in fact, let's fucking do it, eh? We could do it together because I'm on Timo. No, I'm not. My wife's got an account on Timo. Let's have a look, see if we've got Timo on here. We have, look. Let's have a look. I still think you should make yourself a mini forge out of a gas bottle and make knives and do antlers. Yeah, see, look, Jack, I'm all over it. Me and you are like fucking linked, I swear. So, my dad had an old knife. He had a few old knives, just chucked in, as we all do, I suppose, with our tools. And I just sat cleaning it up one day. And that is how I got it looking. All I did was I used, whatever it is, there it is. It's chrome polish that I had for my motorbike. And some wire wool. And you know what? As soon as I'd done it, somebody offered me, I think, 160 quid for the blade. And I said, do you know what? I can't. I can't because it was my dad's as much as I'd want to. And I actually welded that little bit on there because I'm going to make an antler handle. Anthony, have you made garden decorations out of wood to give people's gardens a feature of some kind? Yes. I've done planters. My main staple, wishing well planters. Yes, Paul. I've not actually done one. You were doing one for your mum, weren't you? I'm sure you was. Yes, you were, because you see, I've still got photos of it. I'm sure I have. Anyway, I do a lot of yeah. Of course, yeah, and it looked really good. How is Mum? So these are my bird boxes, and I do give a lot of bird boxes away for the simple reason if I go and get some free decking, I'll give them a bird box and just say, oh, this is the sort of thing I make. I'm on YouTube, and there's a bird box if you want it for free. But there's been some variations. My sister-in-laws they like my hashtag, my little mascot hashtag man. Oh, good, Paul. That's good to hear. Oh, bless her. Families. Yeah, I lost my mum 10 years ago. 10 years ago 10 years this year? I think it's 10 years this year. So yeah, my dad 11 years ago. They were both 59. Fucking shit, isn't it? But glad Mum's okay. I'm glad. So yes, I do. I give away a lot of my bird boxes as a thank you. I've put cameras in some. Oh, I'm on Temu now. Here we go, Ian. You're very helpful, Ian, aren't you? Bloody hell, you've been on already. Tabletop fire, stainless steel, £25. Blink on top of a cutout and sink in. Bloody hell. Where did you find that, Ian? What did you put in? Tabletop fire, stainless steel, 5 on Temu. Let's have a look. So, okay, hang on. Gas. Should we put gas? Gas. Fire. Pit. Ooh. Hold on a second. You're right, aren't you? Ian, smart arse. I mean that in the most loving way, you know that, don't you? You're absolutely right, my friend. There's some dearer ones on here, but there is some rectangle ones. And they're not actually that badly priced. What's that? Here, look at this. Jack, look what Ian's done. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to look through my... So that's 35 quid, that one. But look, it comes with the connections and it's got the rails. If you've not got an account, Jack, type in tabletop fire. If you've not got an account, Jack, let me know. I'll sort something with you and I can always order one and we'll sort it out. I might even get one. Should we? I mean, what did you say? Fire pit. Type in tabletop fire. Tabletop fire pit. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you can actually get them. It's interesting. You can actually get them standalone then. See, yeah, what you're saying about the metal tray, yes. What I did was on my last one, I remember it well because it was in the back of my garden for years. It was a sunken manhole cover, so it was about that deep. And what you do with sunken manhole covers is you can put block paving and stuff inside them so they look a part of the road, and then you just lift the whole thing out. So it was about that deep. But when I was thinking about exactly like you are, Jack, obviously it's going on a wooden table and wood and fire does not exactly. So you've got to be careful with the heat transfer. However, I found when I did the last one, I'll have to try and dig a photo out. It worked out really quite well. In the metal tray, I put pebbles around the outside as well and up the bottom. And before I actually put the fire pit tray in, I put a concrete slab underneath it as well. I was a bit worried about it getting too hot at the bottom. It never did get hot, if I'm honest. I probably went a bit over the top with I didn't need the slab. You just got to think, I suppose, how hot the transfer, if it's getting your pebbles hot, I suppose that heat transfer would go into your wood as well. Let's have a look, hang on a second. Fire pit, so tabletop fire pit, so go back onto gas. Gas fire pit. Yeah, right, Jack. Right, I'll show you one here. Now, it's a bit dearer, but it might be worth us maybe ordering one or doing a joint venture just for... Look, can you see that one? And that one, I mean, they're 95 quid, but I mean, it's half a metre long and 200 wide, so it's pretty big. Oh, look, well, that's how big it is. So for 94 quid, you can actually get the insert as well. However, the kit there, the one we originally looked at, is 36. I suppose it's how much you want the insert, isn't it? Or would you, if you knew something. In fact, my next door neighbour, he works with stainless steel. That's all he does. Yeah, exactly what I did, Jack. When you're saying about it's going on wood table, blah, I'm sure you get fireproof fibre, something to go in between. Yeah, all I used, you can either get fire bricks. I actually just used a concrete slab, and I actually remember putting the concrete slab in the middle of the table, so it's low enough. Then I put my sunken manhole in, so it's sunk all the way, so it was flush with the table. And I put my gas through, just drilled through, put my gas through, put my ring in, put my pebbles on, and turned it on. Then I arranged my pebbles so the flames would come out of different parts. And then I remember sitting out there for quite a while, sort of pressing my hands, and that slab never even got warm. It never got warm. So £100 happily. I don't want to pay more than 300. No, you're right. I know what you're saying. I think I'll be honest with you. With the look of this, Jack, I'll be honest. For £100, that one, I'm interested in this one myself. I think it's lovely. And it is 50 centimeters long. The liner is 50 centimeters long and 20 centimeters wide. So it's half a meter. Let's get that on a tape measure just to put it into perspective. So there's your 50 centimeters long. Yeah, like that. Yeah, which in feet is just under 2 foot and 20 wide. It's not very wide, is it? You got to be careful with Temu, aren't you? They're a bit like that. They show people sitting around it with fucking chairs. You ain't going to put 3 chairs around half a metre. Ian, get a old school fire blanket. Great idea. Would be good. Yeah, fire blanket. Yeah. I tell you what, what I've used. Can't get my words out. What I've used for my. I haven't cleaned it up. I know. I need to clean it up. Marble. Have a look out, and people give them away. This was an old marble hearth of my mates. He ripped it out. No one wants marble hearths anymore. They're not modern enough, are they? But my mate ripped out the marble hearth and gave it to me, and I was like, I don't really want it, but I'll take it just in case I need it. And I've used every fucking part of it. Keep your eye out for it. Go on Gumtree. And in fact, that's where I got my antlers from, Gumtree. I love Gumtree. Put in old marble hearths, or if you see somebody, I know I'm not a big skip diving person, but I'm not against it. I'd rather just knock on the door and just say, look, if that would go in, I'll take it away for you. But yeah, an old marble hearth or fire blanket, great idea. Yeah, absolutely. Something just to line it to stop the heat transfer. I mean, you can get fire putty, and I have got some fire putty somewhere. Hey, no, actual fact, I think it's there. No, it's not. No, I have got. Oh, yeah, it is. There it is. There it is. So again, you can actually get that. I used that on my log burners, and it can go up to some real heat. So I mean, you could use that potentially as like a tile adhesive or something like that to stop any heat transfer. Maybe. I mean, that would. I think it probably would work. 1,250 degrees. Ovens, boilers, backs, fireplaces. So, there is that. So yes, Temu looks the way forward, and I think, Jack, if we speak a bit later on, might even order one, before we both order one, sort of thing. If it's not good enough or big enough, or they do seem to have the ones that we're thinking, though, the oblong version. Gas fire pit. What did I put it in? Gas fire pit. I want to put gas fire pit ring, but then it comes up obviously as the circulars. See, that's the sort that I've got there. I've got that one. But that's the one that me and Jack are on about. Yeah, that one. And that's the variation of it. What we got here? Razzle, hi mate, you're right. Jack, might be worth going on AliExpress and buy 5 and a discount price. Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm sure we can get 5 of us together. Paul, Ian, me, you, Jack, Jim, John. Any of us we'll all have one of them, and I'll happily go with that. We can sort that out. If we can get a bit more of a multi-buy. And do you know what? We could even collaborate, do a few changes, and sort of not compare, but you know what I mean. See different finishes. I quite like the rustic. The photo you sent me, Jack, looked the nuts. To be fair, exactly. I mean, the table you sent me is a showstopper, isn't it? I mean, that's worth thousands and thousands. But again, you've now got the vision to see that it's only because you've got a bit of gas coming out the middle of the table, it looks pretty, you know, and people like pretty and they pay for pretty. So absolutely. So do the one that you're doing, Jack, as if it was a showpiece. So when you're sat out pretending to do a barbecue and you're looking over with your smile, that's your showpiece. And that's, again, similar to how my channel started. Anything that I've got on Etsy, I've only ever made one of, or unless I've sold them. I mean, other than my bird boxes, my hashtags, most things, like, they're one-offs. You know, you're only ever going to make one of them. You know, you might put a different antler on it, but you're only going to make one of them. You know, you do different variations, but I like the idea of one-offs. So your table will be a one-off. Do what I do. Order, wait for it to come. Create a video, say it don't work, ask the credit back, they give you an order, another 2, the price of 1. We've all done it, Ian. We've all done it, man. What is it you do, Ian? As in, like, do you do your own little bits and pieces as well? 7 metre by 5 metre summer house on a budget next year, probably be scaffold boards, clad. Give us a shout, man. I'm up for giving you a hand. I like a good project. 7 metres by 5 metres. Nice. See, that's, get your teeth into it. I mean, again, get some videos, get some photos. I've built a few summer houses and sheds. I've built a few trailers as well. I did a couple of, I've done like a champagne bar. We done a bud bar. We done it in COVID, so I could still try and earn a few quid. I made a couple out of horse boxes and things like that. And in fact, I'm in talks with somebody that he's just finished his job and he's looking possibly at doing his own trailer. So, Anthony, can you make a fire pit out of one of your gas bottles you got? Yeah, you could. Yeah, Anthony, you're right. What do you mean, like cut it in half and sink it in the table? Yeah, of course I could. Jack, what are we thinking? We could do that, couldn't we? Jack, you can order a car shed. Team cheapest chips. Yeah, I was in the council house before here, and our garden, oh God, I missed that garden. It was fucking massive. Absolutely, I'm with you, 100%. I did exactly the same, only because our house was so small and we got so many kids that we had to move. But the garden was 10 times what I've got here. I feel your look on that. And you know what? I built a bar as well in my garden. That's how big it was. I mean, a bar. I had Guinness on tap, Carling on tap, and I think I had a cider on tap as well. Well, that's when I was drinking. I'm not drinking anymore. John, when I was a kid, my dad built. See, dads are great, aren't they? 6 pallet square shed, building. Double skinned entirely out of pallets. Yeah, our dads were the nuts, weren't they? My dad was the same. And this is where fuck it, give it a go starts, isn't it? Just fuck it, give it a go. You know what's the worst can happen? You blow yourself up and kill your family, I suppose. But That's not if the worst happens. Look, fuck it, give it a go. We're here one time round. You know, we're all struggling in one way or another. We know this, don't we? You know, it wasn't a good fuck it, give it a go, was it, that one? You die and kill your family. Yeah, fuck it, give it a go. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not daft. Well, we are, but you know what I mean. We're sensible enough to try new things. And as Jack's found out, when we first got talking, I hope you don't mind me saying this, Jack, when we first got talking, you all your confidence was knocked out of you completely, absolutely bashed out of you. And over the past few weeks and months, you know, your confidence and everything is built back up, and your vision and ideas supersedes mine, and it keeps us all going. You know, now it's your turn to be the front runner. John, I speak to you regular. Jack the same. Jim the same. Hopefully Ian the same. And you know, we take the lead off other people, and I love that. I love the idea that we can help each other out. And I mean, Jack's vision on this table, I mean, if it's anything like it looks minimalistic. I love it. I think it's lovely. It reminded me a little bit of an infinity table. Can you make me a trap from the Saw films? Something I can put Mrs. in. Yeah, I'm up for that. But for obvious reasons, I probably can't be linked to it when you go to prison. However, yeah, I'd love to make a trap. That's back on the extent that only now got the being in prison mentality out of my head, to be honest. Yes, and big up to Jack. You're off probation now, mate, aren't you? For the first time in a fucking long time. That is massive, my friend. And like I say, your vision, we talk, the things you're doing. Yeah, I know you can, when you look up, when you breathe a little bit. No, yeah, see, again, can't stand being, I'm a magnet for trouble. As in, literally, I think the last time I left, I actually did a short on this. The last time I left the house, me and my wife had an appointment, and we parked, and I think I said that we parked in a disabled spot, because I've got a disabled badge. We don't do it all the time, only now and again. Anyway, this bloke went fucking tits at me. I threatened dragging him through the window, and then after I threatened dragging him through the window, he told me he was in a wheelchair. Not my finest hour. First time in 20 years. Feels stupid when people say well done. Yeah. Listen, I'm an ex-addict. My wife makes an absolute meal of me on that day. It's celebrated more than my birthday. She'll take me out for a meal, and I've had rounds of applause from whole restaurants before. Oh, well done, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years clean. And it's embarrassing because I shouldn't have been doing it in the fucking first place. And that's not a slag off at you, Jack. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Breaking that habit of prison, drugs, gambling, whatever your vice may be, is a massive achievement. And no, you're right. You're keeping yourself humble by not allowing the praise to make you big-headed or change you. That's why you're such a nice guy, mate. And that's the reason why. I think, anyway. And words to live by. Think of what you've got, not what you want. And I'm a rich man, and I mean that. And I'm not greedy. I love my family, and I appreciate everything that I've got, and I appreciate my friends. And I never thought I would say that either. That I've made connections with people on here that I talk to. I don't talk to anyone else. And that's the truth. I don't go out. I don't like big groups. If I go out, my wife will push me now and again to go to a concert, a show. We go to the cinema quite regular, but I love my life the way it is, and I'm at peace with it now. Yes, the money, again, breaking the money lifestyle. I'll be completely real with you, Jack. When I was an addict, I was so deep into it. As you know, we all fall into that life. Once you're in that life, it becomes weirdly normal. My letterbox became an ATM because I was dealing and I didn't like seeing people. People were just shoving money through my letterbox and I was leaving it out. It was hideous. Sounds wonderful. My letterbox was an ATM, but it was either the police were going to kick it in, my kids were going to get took away, I was going to OD, or all of the above. In the cold light of day, now I see it, now I say it, I think, what a fucking idiot, what was I doing? You know, I wasted all them years that I had. But I can't live my life like that no more. I will never forgive myself for the things that I've done. Yes, and you know, like, the tighter the circle, the less drama that comes through. Yes, exactly right. Yeah, positive. Go-getters, your life will change. And my life, I've been clean now just over 6 years. It'll be 7 years in February, I think. Is that right? 22nd of February. So it'll be 7 years in February. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I've got a few friends, literally a few. Nigel, Wayne, a few others that I don't see very often. My daughter's dad, Nath, and my family, and you guys, and that's it. But again, I've sort of made peace with that. I'm okay with it. I have a good life, and there's some people. I actually got a message off a guy. I don't normally message back to people if they're being particularly rude or horrible, but this guy wasn't, and sometimes I know that feeling. I did a video through the middle of the day, and I was coming out of my patio door, the sun was shining on me, and I came out and, you know, what's everyone doing today? And a guy messaged, and I left it on. I've never removed any messages on YouTube or TikTok. And this guy said, can I just ask, how are you living? How are you making your money? If you don't work, how are you doing your garden up, spending all this money, spending on plants, spending on tools, spending on antlers? How are you making all this money? We're not. It's the fucking easy answer. We're not making all this money. Have you ever tried to make a champagne ship bottle? That might be a good project. Yes, I've thought of this. Oh, hang on. Tried to make a championship belt. That might be good. I tell you what, I was on. I read that completely different, Anthony. Something I like the look of, and something that's been on my brain for a while to look at, is shields. I know it's random, but you know, like the wooden shields that you'd see in Rob Roy, or I like movie memorabilia, and I thought the shields would be a good idea because you can put your metal work around the edge and stuff, and it's just yes, these projects. If it again, Anthony, you bang on, with it. I love these ideas, the projects, the different things you can make, the things that work, the things that don't, the things that people see that they can make better. This knife has been kicking around now ever since I cleaned it up since last year, but I'm not good enough, I don't think, at my antlers just yet to put the bone handle on it. Somebody also messaged me a lovely message about making, I can't remember the name of it. Forgive me. You kill fish with it. Basically, it's an antler, but sort of rounded off. So you club a fish when you've obviously got it out to sea. Club a fish, you put a bit of rope round it so you don't slip off your hand. And he wanted that to pass on to his kids. I have messaged him back and said, definitely sort something out. I don't think I'm good enough yet. And I don't know if I've got a big enough antler to make it heavy duty enough yet. But we're keeping contact. Ian, I can't go cinema. I pay and leave, can't sit there, get too bored. Yeah, so you've got ADHD, haven't you? People, there you go, because of ADHD. Don't mean it, but I get a kick out of it. Yeah. Starting pricking. Yeah, but that's your ADHD. But the thing is, again, Ian, just listening to you, it sounds like you've made peace with it. You know what your triggers are. You know full well if you're going to the cinema, you're probably going to annoy somebody. And sometimes you'll still go. I get it. And I'm the same. I am argumentative. I know I am. I practice stoicism now. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have ever looked at stoicism. I know Jack has. I'm pretty sure John has. I think Paul has. Anthony, Ian, have a look at stoicism. It's not a cult. It's not a religion. It's a way of thinking. And I got very angry when I stopped my drugs, my drink and drugs. Drugs was the first one to go, illicit drugs, then prescription drugs. I reintroduced alcohol. I have spoke about this before. I reintroduced alcohol to my life. And it was okay to start with. Shields, yes, yeah, I think so. Shields a big one. I reintroduced alcohol to my life after I quit drugs, and it was okay for a while. It didn't sort of make me go back to my drug life. But truth be known, I started lying about it. Like, I would have a beer on purpose before my wife got back from work, but really I'd have had three. And I just said, "Oh, I've just opened this one," and just I caught myself doing it. And I'm not a liar, and I don't like that. I was falling back, and I could feel it, and I knew it. So I struggled with it a little bit because I wanted to just have that chill pint, and I wanted to celebrate someone's birthday and everything else. And in the end, I cut it out completely, and now I don't drink at all. I'm completely teetotal and have been for a couple of years. My dog hates that bin. There's a dog shit bin literally just up here, and every time someone puts something in it, my dog goes nuts. Sorry about that. Anyway, so where was I? I can't remember where I was. I lost track of where was I? Somebody tell me. Yes, drink. Sorry, yeah. So I've been teetotal now as well for a couple of years, but what I found with that is I still had a horrible temper, and that is the truth. My wife, I mean, I must have put my wife through hell back in the day, back 10 years ago. I must have put her through hell. I punched holes in walls. I've thrown plates. I've never hit her, but it's not the point. It's still abuse, and I take full responsibility for that because my kids would have seen it as well. And what an awful thing to do! What a terrible thing to do! And I had to sort it out. I had to get on top of it. I tried therapy. I didn't get on with it. I felt belittled, talked down to. They didn't know my situation. I feel absolutely comfortable. I know there's 10 of you on, and I feel absolutely more than comfortable talking to you guys, which is strange, isn't it? Because we've never met, and I feel more comfortable talking to you. You don't understand. This is my therapy. In here is my therapy. My wife knows that as well, and so my temper, yeah, it was still bad. It still stayed with me. It wasn't as prevalent. It didn't come out all the time. But my agitation, my annoyance, Stephen, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I do, honestly, I really do. And welcome. And I would still get angry and annoyed, and I didn't realise that my wife was still walking on eggshells now and again. She would see my triggers or think, "Oh, that normally would piss him off." For instance, if I dropped a box of screws, I remember doing this. This is actually drawn from a memory. When you buy a new big box of screws, they all come in different sizes, don't they? And I'll come back to that box of screws. Anthony, my daughter's got ADHD, and I always tell her, use it to your advantage, exactly, and try and get creative with it. She listened to, and she got it under control, and I got to say I'm proud of it. That's amazing. And you know what? I've got a son, Tommy. He's autistic. He's definitely on the spectrum, and he's a he has. I remember as a kid, I used to say to him, "Inside thoughts, Tommy, inside thoughts," because he would say everything literally. So I got a phone call one day from the teachers, and basically Tommy didn't want any other kid playing with the toys that he was playing with, so he pissed on them. Little things that like this. And no, it's not funny, but I remember the teacher ringing me and I went, "Well, you told him to not let others play with him," and that was his way of doing it. In his brain, that was the way of doing it. Ian, I used to be under control of it. Now I'm not, just recently. The only advice I've got with that is, I know what you're saying. My ADHD is, I've been told, is similar to my bipolar that I'm going through now. I won't say I've got bipolar because the diagnosis hasn't been given yet. But my high, I believe, is where the ADHD high would be, and my low is obviously it crashes. So I completely understand what you're saying, Ian. What I try and do, am I in control of mine now? Yes, but I allow myself. I I'm at ease with it. I'm at peace with it. I know if I'm being manic and stupid, and my wife does as well, and I can always tell by her reaction. When I started this treasure hunt, which I'm doing, which I'm going to continue with, I love it. It's great fun. But my ups and downs, she's lived with obviously for years and years, and I know when I'm being manic. I know I am, and I can see it sometimes in my videos. But I allow it to a point. I allow it to come out in a creative way. Exactly, I think it was you, Ian, or was... Oh, no, sorry, Anthony. It was exactly what you're saying about your daughter. Coming out in a creative way. And you know what? I would hesitate to say Jack's probably similar. Undiagnosed, but a lot of us probably are. At our age, most of us are undiagnosed because there was no such thing when we were kids. And I would say by listening to Jack, I would say ADHD, maybe PTSD, depending on his past. Do you want to go and get the diagnosis? I would say yes, if it gives you some peace. I wanted to get a diagnosis or not for my family's sake, because it's time that I took the bull by the horns and thought, you know what, I'm going to go to the doctors, I'm going to tell them the truth. They asked me some awkward questions. Did I ever think of killing myself? My answer was yes, regular. Obviously I don't act on it, but oh, my wife's just going to pick my daughter up. Yeah, so yes, I would say go to the doctor, go to the hospital, go seek advice. If you think you're... How old are you, Ian, if you don't mind me asking? And same for you, Anthony. Wow, that's amazing, Jack. Well, there you go. That's amazing. See, I was a problem kid. Everyone sort of said, oh, it's the ADHD, and 46, same as me. Exactly the same as me. I'm 46. So, but what goes along with it? I'm severely dyslexic. For my family, so they can't get help, just waiting on medication. I'm 38. I just got mine for my family. Brilliant. What more can I say? So you are on top of it, Ian. You are. And allow it to come out in creative ways. Honestly, yeah, two moods, funny and down to earth, or serious and ready to have a scrap. Absolutely. I am absolutely 100%. I understand completely. The funny, down to earth, Mick, you're just out of sort of probation, and you've really straightened yourself out. Start allowing your serious to enter your funny and down to earth. I'm trying to be as level as I can. My biggest problem was I was either high as a fucking kite, off my head on coke, and trying to keep myself in such a position of insanity because I hated the lows. I would keep myself there for days, which obviously is terrible, and then I would use all sorts of different drugs to then get me back down to earth again. When I got clean, that was anywhere and everywhere. And I know I don't like the word self-medicate, because I think people lean on that a bit hard. Well, I'm self-medicating. It's a bit of an excuse, isn't it? But we've all done it. We've all picked up that drink because we don't want to think about that memory, or how much we fucked our own lives up, or, you know, putting that coke up my nose would make me life and soul of the party. Everyone loves that, Adam. When you look back at it, you think, what a twat. But you get to so far in your life and you think, well, what's the point? You can't think of anything other anyway. What would life be without drugs? What would it be without drink? You may as well be dead. And that's the way I used to think. And that's genuine. That's honest. I'm like, well, what's the point in living if you can't have a drink, or if you can't do coke when you want, or if you can't do this, you can't do that? Do you know what? My life, breaking that habit is difficult. But once it's broke, what the hell was that? Once it's broke, once the habit is broke, I won't say that I never get the urge again. I see people sitting at the pub and think they look relaxed. They look like they're enjoying themselves in the sun and chilling out and everything else. And I do think to myself sometimes, I could have a beer. But I've been there that so many times that I've had that beer and thought, I don't really want it. I don't really like it. It came to a progression. It came to an end. my biggest problem with my own health was when the last time I took coke was I OD'd, and I died. They had to revive me on my floor in my bedroom, and I thought I was going to die, and well, I sort of did. But I thought my kids were going to find me, or my wife was going to find me. And I seizured so badly, I'd done something to my brain, and I blew out my, I can't remember, my appendix blew. I was touch and go for a while, and now I live with epilepsy. And I don't just live with epilepsy, my wife does, and my family do as well. And it's changed my life dramatically. I thought it was done, I thought it was over, and I then tried to commit suicide. I'm going back a few years now, obviously, but I tried to commit suicide then, sort of 5-6 years ago, because I thought that my family would be better off without me. And I that's how I thought. I mean, that's how all people think. I think when they look at committing suicide is because they think the world would be better off without you. And it's took me a lot of years to, like Jack says, it's so difficult to accept praise for something that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. But you've got to allow yourself to do that. You've got to allow yourself to move on, and you wouldn't be the person you are now, Jack, without your past. People tell me that, and I think, yeah, I suppose. Do you like the person? Would you get on with the old Jack? Answer that question. No, you'd probably batter him, wouldn't you? Because now you're a different person. You're a more of a moral man. You've got an idea of life that you want to live, and the old Jack and the new Jack, we won't get on. You're still on your journey, don't get me wrong, same as I am, but the old Adam would be my worst nightmare now. You know, I'd go to the cinema, or I'd go somewhere and meet the old me, or I see the old me's and think, what a prick. And I've still got the memories of that. Most of them all tattooed all over my face or my neck, or, you know, because it's the life that I led. I was in a gang. I'm a biker, and everything that goes with it. The same as you, Jack, with even weapons, drugs. It was out of control, and it's the life I lived. And I can't say there was no thrill behind it, because there was. And the reason I didn't do the 12-step program is because I came out of it wanting to do it, because most people there glorify it as the good old days. You go to a meeting, or I did, the Narcotics Anonymous meetings. Not only was I offered drugs in the meeting by other people, I was actually going to some of the meetings still on prescription drugs. But people would talk about, oh, I remember we used to do that, and oh, it was a great time, I was that off my head, I did this. And you come out talking about the old days, and you desperately don't feel any better. And I knocked it on the head in the end, and decided to look into stoicism, and that's what's kept my temper better. I haven't lost my temper in all, it's coming up to a year. And I actually class it as Anthony Hopkins Day, because on that day I thought I'd broke my hand. I punched the door and I punched the wall. I scared my wife. And for me, that was the last straw. That was my last bit of temper. I think that was my last chance on my temper, if I'm honest. I think if my wife is serious and talks honestly, that was probably the last straw on my temper, and I knew it. And I had to do something about it, and I knew that. I went to walk to the hospital. I was too out of breath because I'm out of shape, and my sister picked me up. We went to the hospital. I told my sister all about it, and that was the last day that I ever lost my temper, and that's the truth. And I think I say it's coming up. I think it's October. It's on the calendar. I'll have a look. And I still have to grab myself now and again with my temper. Same as when I said about the dragging the bloke out the van. I actually had hold of my temper. When I threatened to drag him out the van, I was completely in control. I did that more to scare him. You know, he was being arrogant and horrible to me in front of my wife unnecessarily. And I felt at that point that he needed, you fought fire with fire. My mood is still there. He's still deep inside me. If he needs to come out to protect my family or whatever, I still think I can release him. I've still got that fire in my belly, and I think we all have. But he's behind closed doors now. He's in a cage, and that's where he'll stay. And certainly to my wife, and certainly to my family. And that's got easier along the way, if I'm completely honest with you. I thought my temper would be, I didn't think I'd ever be able to change it, if I'm honest. I thought that's just a part of who I am. But it's not, and again, it can be broken. The whole temper thing, it can be broken, because I genuinely haven't lost my temper since October last year, and I know now when I feel that trigger, I can catch myself and stop myself from doing it, even if that means walking outside, if it means putting my earphones in. Sometimes my wife, I'll say this loosely, can be unreasonable. Shocker. And now I try not to sort of, I can take the moral high ground, and I can see her frustration with it. So I'm going, are you okay? In fact, if you ask her, I actually said last time she lost her shit at me, do you need a hug? And it came out so patronising, and she told me to fuck off, to be fair to her. And I feel now that I am in control of that as well. So yeah, I am happy with my progress. I can't say that I'm not. But like you say, when other people say congratulations and everything else, it's difficult to accept. It really is. And I understand. And yeah, I've been rattling, haven't I? I've got to say, I do like these videos, looking at the projects and also helping people out in everyday life and giving advice. It's good. Thanks, Anthony. And you know what? I love we've got this nice little community of us, just normal, genuinely normal guys. And there's some things on the horizon that I've spoke to a few of you about. And I know that I've spoke to some people that have got some woodland, because I mentioned about woodland walks, or it sounds a bit too oldie worldy, woodland walks, doesn't it? But what I'm actually getting at some point in the future is, be it at a craft fair or on a woodland walk or whatever, we will get together one day, and we'll try and make it a thing. That's what I'd like to. That's like where I'd like to get to on YouTube and TikTok, is stick with my friends, and we can do some videos together, possibly make some bits together. Because I know people can join, and you can show your projects as well. Just get your bit of confidence back. You know that you come on my live stream and pop up and show us your table, and show us how you did it, and show us how you connected the gas, and we'll talk. And you know what? Mentally, I know I have just released a load of what I didn't even know I had on my mind. Talking about it with you guys is therapy. And Anthony, you're absolutely right. We can talk about our crafts and doing our things, and antlers and wood and gas, and we have a bit of a chat along the way, and it helps. It really helps. Listen, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you guys. I mean, 82 minutes I've been rattling for. 82 minutes. My wife's gone to pick my daughter up, so yeah, I'm gonna say I'm off. And you've all got my email, awoodworkinglife@hotmail.com. Email me, I'll email you back. And all of you guys that are on, I'm happy to give my personal number to. And I know Jack and a few of you guys have got it already. Anthony, Ian, exactly the same. John, you as well. I really appreciate all the support. I do, and I hope you're all well. Anyone's got any problems, reach out to one of us. We'll be there. And I really appreciate all of you. I do, honestly. Have a good one, yeah? Catch you next one! If I can stop it.